Hello. Hello. I've just seen something that reminded me that of two comments really. I should make a video on this maybe. So let me try and get under these trees and I'll show you. But please don't lick. Okay. So obviously somebody's loved one by the looks of it. Uncle, there he is there, bless him. Bode, come here please. Bode, come here. Good boy. Dad, uncle, bless him. Come here, love. Oh. Anyway, so, Bode, you okay? Yeah? Right, we're going to go for a wander. Little bit of a bimble. So, a couple of comments saying the same thing really. They said, you've been very quiet about, come here please, come on, this way. How about the Queen's funeral? And I haven't said a word really, or not much about it. Not to anybody. Because something happened in 2020, and what happened was COVID, and it changed people, where people could no longer have a difference of opinion without being hated upon, and people were taking things personally. So if you said whatever you said, I don't believe in COVID, or I don't like COVID, or I don't think COVID is so severe, or I'm not going to take the vaccine, or vaccines will be responsible for many, many heart attacks in a couple of years' time, which is what I said. And people jumped on me and on others. You bastard, you don't know what you're talking about. Well, that's fine, maybe I don't. Maybe nobody does. But you know, I can't and I wouldn't wear a mask, and people were, come on Bo please, thank you. Were moaning, I remember them moaning at me. You might remember one comment that I read out. How does it feel to be responsible for thousands of people's deaths? Because I was out bimbling on my own, miles away from anywhere, with no mask. Well, I don't think I've met 1,000 people for many years, so it feels fine. But you know, it started something. It started that we weren't allowed our own thoughts, our own opinions, our own way of thinking. Ridiculous, but that's how it is and was. And so I decided that really, if you know me, you know this channel, then you know my thoughts on the monarchy. And I don't say things in a hateful way, but I don't like, you know, I've seen little bits. Bode, come here please. Bode, come here please. I've seen little bits on YouTube, because I don't have a television, I don't buy newspapers or anything, and for me, it's disgusting. Now you might say, oh no, it was lovely, and that's great, and it is great. It's fine for you to feel how you feel. Oh no, we're going to go this way. Come in, come on. Good boy. And it really is, it's fine. Come here then, let's go, let's go. Good boy, look at this boy. Go, go, go. But you know, I think they're insulting. I think it's disgusting. Come here. The fact that people they can't afford to heat their homes, and these people who live on benefits get millions upon millions a year. Now, all the arguments I could go into, but I'll just go into the usual one. Oh, hang on, Bri, they bring in more money than they get. No, that's a fallacy. It's a falsehood that we've been told. And if you do your research, I can't remember in what order, but I think it's Windsor Castle is 16th most visited place in the UK, and I'm sure that's 16th, and Buckingham Palace is the 69th. So neither of those take a great deal of money. Well, you know, like seeing the Crown Jewels, you know, it takes like 10 million quid a year. But how much do you think we pay for all the royals? And all the castles they've got, I don't know how many they've got. All the land, I don't know how many plots of land. All the estates, all the huge mansions, you know, and things like that. It's just, to me, it's obscene. And I think the royal weddings are obscene. I think their funerals are obscene. It wasn't many months ago that some people could only attend a funeral of 15 people. Could you imagine if that was royalty? You know, they would break the rules, of course they would. But I just find the whole thing absolutely disgusting. In this day and age where if you've got, I've said this loads of times, but if you've got one person who's homeless or one person using food banks, then we cannot have a monarchy. We cannot. Come on, my love. Come on then. Come on, because we're near the road there. Thank you. It's only a track, but you know. Thank you. Anyway, that's how I feel about it, really. But that's my opinion, that's my thoughts. You know, that's without trying to upset people, and you do. As I say, you cannot now have a difference of opinion. They called it a 10-day national mourning. Well, who mourned? I certainly didn't mourn. Anybody who wasn't really into the monarchy or the Queen or you know, whatever, they weren't mourning. This woman who died was 96, so it wasn't a surprise. And the old man that took over is 75 or whatever, so it's not, you know, nothing to do with me. But I didn't know the woman. I've never met the woman. And the woman did nothing, I don't think, for me. So I wasn't in mourning, I have to be honest. I know they called it national mourning. I mean, if you were crying your eyes out, I'm very sorry, you know. And I'm sure perhaps one or two people were. I have no idea. But, you know, you got to admire. I admire the fact that she stood out from the crowd. She wore like neon green, you know, bright red or whatever, you know, I like that. And in 70 years, you know, she clearly did some good, you know, in 70 years. She, for me, what was my best moment? My best moment of the Queen in 70 years. Okay, all I'm getting is Bohemian Rhapsody. Mama just killed a man. I don't know if she was one of the backing singers, but if she was, then that's good. So yeah, really, I'm sorry, but in my life, she meant nothing. So I wouldn't queue up for hours to see a flag. You didn't even see a coffin, you saw a flag. And it's all about respect as well. Everybody says whatever you say, you must be respectful. That's all well and good. Can you respect somebody who paid 12 million quid so that their son didn't get done for paedophilia? Maybe you can, maybe you can't. I don't know. Do I have any respect for the Queen? No. No, I really don't. I'll tell you why. It's only one reason, and again, it is the poor. It's old ladies trying to heat their place. She must be aware of that. Or must have been aware of it. She must have been aware there's something called homelessness. She must have been aware of the Trussell Trust, giving out free food to people who are destitute. She must have been aware. And she sat there with the heating on and her gold carriage and her £3 million hat and never done anything. In 70 years, never said, well, I've got trillions, why don't you have a few quid? In 70 years, that never happened. So, I'm sorry, I can't really respect anybody like that. And maybe I think differently to everybody else on the planet, and if I do, so be it. I can't apologise for thinking the way I think, but if you're that fortunate, and of course you're not even voted in, you're just born, you know, but if you're that fortunate that you've got palaces and whatever, castles and, you know, riches beyond anything that we could think of, then would you want your people, your subjects, to be skint, to live in poverty, to not have any food, to be freezing cold? Would you want that, and would you feel comfortable like that? I wouldn't. But again, if you would, you know, that's not fine, but it's fine that you feel that way, because it's your opinion. I disagree, but it's your opinion. So no, I don't respect the monarchy. I think it's time to do away with them. I mean, look at the idiot we got now, old Charlie. Oh, I've got no respect for that thing whatsoever. The way he treated Diana was just that alone, which was a big thing. I could never respect him, never. You know, the fact that he was friends with Jimmy Savile. They're all friends with paedophiles though, aren't they? You know, I just don't respect them. Even William, they reckon William's had an affair. You know, he's got a beautiful wife, he's got two lovely, lovely looking children, and he should be happy with that, but no, he's not. He wants to go somewhere else. It's a shame, but you know, that's what it is. And then they pick on this girl, don't they? Harry's, is she his wife? I wonder, I don't know. Called, I don't know what her name is, Markle. Not, is it Imelda Markle? No, that's somebody else. Is it Amelia Markle? Meghan Markle, is it? Anyway, she had a couple of tears at the funeral, and I saw some stuff on YouTube slagging her off because she had a few tears, crocodile tears. Look at this bitch, blah blah blah. You know, how nasty. But they live so far removed from me that I don't understand them. As I say, they're just born into it. They don't do anything to deserve it. And just because somebody's in that position for 70 years and got trillions and trillions of pounds, does that deserve respect just because that person's very, very wealthy? No. For me, no. Anyway, that's how I feel. Take good care. Get outside if you can. Be well. Ta-da.